All right, guys. So I'm a little bit late today. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, so a little bit late this morning. Didn't get a ton of sleep last night, to be completely honest. But we are here. We got the Q at 480s. NVDA at 124s. We got GameStop at $23. So, all right. So we got some stuff to cover today. All right. Sorry, so we got some stuff to cover today. There we go. We get it all set up. Yeah, so this week we got a bunch of Fed speakers today. I'll cover it. We'll see if they say anything about the market. It's not really Powell, but it's other Fed members speaking. Yeah, we got Wallen speaking. Austin Goolsbee going on TV, and Mary Daly speaking today. Tomorrow we got Michelle Bowman in London at 7 a.m. This week is actually kind of slow. Next week's very busy. And then earnings season start sometime soon. Let me see. All right, so JP Morgan is kind of like the start of earnings season. Usually, like at the start of earnings season, we get a bunch of bank earnings that come out. And so, yeah, July 12th is when we got JP Morgan earnings. Let me put some music up. What's up, Fawaz, Pawn, Sam, Radical, Molecular? What's up, chat? Yeah, GameStop all the way down at 23 bucks. NVIDIA at 124s. Down a lot this morning as well. Honestly, my portfolio, to be completely honest, is up a lot. So Friday must have been really good because, yeah, like we're up a lot. I think some of those swing trades, if you guys remember, I bought into a lot of swing trades. Like I bought some pullback stocks, some stocks that were pulling back a few weeks ago. I think those are starting to finally do well. Also, somehow my T-bill ETF is up. I don't know how it's up. I don't know if they pay me daily or weekly on that T-bill ETF that I bought, but I'll have to look into that. But yeah, so Salesforce is up. So this is probably due to Salesforce. Disney, we're green on that one. Gold, we're very green. Google, we're green. HD, we're green. So yeah, my Home Depot trade still doing really, really well. Honeywell has been doing well. Intel is up. Coca-Cola, we're finally green on Coca-Cola. We've been red in KO for a while. Same thing with Nike. So Nike, we're finally green on it. And so we were patient enough with Nike and Coca-Cola that we held through those. And we're finally green on those. NVIDIA, of course, very green. Palantir, we're nicely green on. Roblox, we're very green on. Shopify, we're very green on. So yeah, a lot of these stocks that we bought not that long ago are very green. Yeah, we're in Tesla. I mean, it's green for me as well. But it's down to 170s. Oh, no, that's my trade price. So we're in Tesla. So what happened was like we were in Tesla at the 140s. And then prior to this latest run, when Tesla went all the way up to like 185 and then came all the way back down to the 170s, that's where we chose to add to our position, But I guess adding to the position influenced my average on Tesla to where now my average on Tesla is 177. So I must have added much more than my current position there. But yeah, we're green on Tesla as well. Uber, also another one that we're pretty green on. We're in at 65, so it's at 70 plus now. I know I'm a little bit late to start the stream, so my bad, guys. But yeah, so for anybody that understands T-bill, currently up about $23. Okay. Basically, what it's saying here is that T-bill, the ETF, is not static. It's stable but not static. It's designed to maintain a stable price, but it also does slight fluctuations. Most likely what this is that it says, for example, in times of increased market volatility or investor uncertainty, demand for short-term safe haven assets like T-bills can increase, leading to a slight rise in the ETF price. That must have been what happened, because I'm somehow up $25. I just bought this last week. It's supposed to be a dividend-paying treasury bill ETF. Yeah, so again, we'll see. I mean, I'm okay with it. Oh, man. Bitcoin tumping. Bitcoin down to 60K. Wow. What's up, Yair? What's up, Beach Bum? What's up, Freddy? Crypto Z, Joseph, Molecular, Radical Theology, Sam, Pawn. What's up, team? Let me get my Discord up. I don't see why Tesla would break trend here. Still hasn't solved its sales problems. Yeah, but I think you're looking at stock prices too. Tesla, you know, in theory, it's down on the year. You know, Tesla's down on the year, and you know, it's really down. Tesla has been dropping since 2021, really. Like, if we look at Tesla, realistically, it's down since 2021. Now, I don't know what that means. Maybe it's extended on the downside. I don't know. But I know it's down on the year. And so, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it depends on what happens with their robotaxi thing. It's supposed to debut in a couple months. GameStop is bouncing up a little bit. GameStop at 23.20 right now, so GameStop's moving up some. After NVIDIA dropped, does anyone know if it's going to continue the correction? No, of course not. Nobody really knows. Tesla shares fell 1.8% ahead of the company's annual shareholder meeting. Investors are going to vote on whether to reinstate its $56 billion pay package, which was previously struck down by a Delaware court. I thought they already voted on this. Okay, AI is old, bro. Like, all right, AI. They already approved this, man. AI is just not. Okay. Some of... I gotta give it a specific date. What's the weekend start? Only between 6/21/2024 and today 6/24/2024. I'm like, hey, look up the latest stock market news. It's like, okay, this came out 3 weeks ago about Tesla. All right, so the market has been reacting to expectations regarding the Fed's upcoming decision on interest rates and the release of inflation data. So this week specifically, we have, PCE data on Thursday and Friday. We have GDP data Thursday, PCE data Friday. So it's a big week. We also have a bunch of Fed speakers speaking this week, so we do have some stuff like that going on. But yeah. That's what the big announcement this week. Let's go. Let's do a poll here. Sorry. I'm going to change the Nightbot setting because it's a little bit too loose with putting people in timeout over dumb stuff. So let me, it's supposed to be spam protection. And so repetitions is on. Let me see if it'll allow me to option it. All right, so I changed it to where it should be a lot more loose now. If it's more strict, let me know, but it should be a lot more loose. Sorry, Courage. GameStop popping back up. It's over 23.30s. Let's see if that holds. Reddit stock. Let's take a look. So there's NVIDIA in the middle. There's Reddit. Reddit's had a pretty good run since IPO day. You know, it went all the way down to under 40s. What was the good news on NVIDIA? I told him, I hope you learned your lesson. How dare you use too many exclamation points? Like, what a ridiculous. That's why I tried to limit it. It's getting a little bit too crazy. I'll be right back, guys. I gotta go grab something. I will be right back. All right, we're back. So yeah, I had to grab something. Sorry, chat. But yeah, I mean, Reddit at $60 a share. I'm looking at NVIDIA stuff. So NVIDIA's upcoming annual meeting is on June 26th. It's generated a bunch of interest among investors. It's expected to feature important announcements regarding future products, current market demand, and other strategic updates. Is it really June 26th? Hold on, let me see. Is it the annual shareholder meeting? 9 a.m. Pacific time. Okay, that's 11 a.m. my time. I'm not gonna be able to cover that though, unfortunately. I'm not gonna be here. I gotta leave. I got something for work I gotta cover. The symbol's T-bill, TBIL. What time did the Fed speaker speak today? Well, there's a couple today. It's mostly Chris Waller speaks. He spoke at 3 a.m. Fed President Austin Goolsbee goes on TV at 8:30, and San Francisco Fed President Mary Daly speaks at 2 p.m. today. Then we also have Michelle Bowman tomorrow at 7 a.m. Lisa Cook at 12 o'clock tomorrow. So, what's your portfolio looking like? Honestly, Friday was a good day, honestly. We also had Bank of America reiterate its bullish stance on NVIDIA. 12 months price target was $1,500 in share, which implies a 24% upside from its current trading levels. So, I mean, we'll see, man, if NVIDIA continues to rise. Yeah, Tesla very green today also here. So if we look at Tesla, Tesla at 183s. So that looks good. Again, here's NVIDIA, the NASDAQ itself. Market kind of pulled back, but my portfolio again is green from the over the weekend and Friday really. What's in your portfolio? I'm going to preface this with this is not investment selections, picks, call outs. Do not copy me. I'm not an investment professional. I'm not liable if you lose. I do trade off stream. I'm not even claiming to be a good trader or profitable. Do not copy me. Not an investment professional. I do trade off stream. Understand CFTC 4.41 hypothetical or simulated performance have limitations. Do not copy me, guys. No idea what I'm talking about. I'm wildly wrong about everything I say. With that said, my portfolio currently includes Apple, Airbnb, AMC, Alibaba, Chewy, Salesforce, CVS, Delta, Disney, Etsy, Ford, Gold, GameStop, Google, Home Depot, Honeywell, Intel, Coca-Cola, MGM, Netflix, Nike, Nvidia, Pfizer, Palantir, PayPal, Roblox, Shopify, Snapchat, Snowflake, SoFi, SoundHound, T-Bill, Target, Tesla, Tyson Foods, Uber, Walgreens, and Walmart. And I'm great on most of these, to be honest. Like, I could probably count in less than two hands the positions here that I'm actually red in. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I am red in only 8 of these positions. I am losing in 8 of these, and that is 8 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 36, 37, 38 positions. I am losing in 8 out of 38. So less than 1 in 4 positions I am red in. So very good, very accurate portfolio. I can't guarantee it's going to work for you, of course. Nobody can. But yeah, I'm in Walgreens. No, I'm not in Reddit. Reddit's too recent for IPO, so it's just not really my style. You think Costco is a good blue chip stock? Costco? Yeah. I mean, Costco. I mean, I don't know. Costco. Is a very, yeah, I mean, Costco's up a ridiculous percentage over the last 52 weeks. Costco, just on the year, the last 52 weeks, Costco is up, like, what is this, like 70% or something crazy like that? Let me see percentage. Let me calculate the percentages. Costco was up from 506 to 874. Costco was up 72%. Dude, my math in my head is on point, man. Yeah, so man, these chart prime indicators are nice. Thanks for the plug. Hey, cool, Jay. Thanks, man. I think Costco will drop big at some point during the correction. Yeah, I mean, anything that's up that much typically is going to correct eventually, but who knows when and if it will. I don't know. Costco, I don't know if you've ever been to a Costco on a Saturday, but it is freaking chaos in that store. And so they're making money. Like if you've ever been in a Costco on a Saturday or Sunday for that matter, they are incredibly busy. It's incredibly stressful to be in a Costco on a Saturday morning. There's no room. People are busy going for things. Like it's just chaos. If they drop it, yeah, I'm not buying Costco. With that said, I'm not. They're up too much right now. I need a dip to buy it. I'm kind of like, I would prefer. Like somebody's asking me if I'm beating the S&P 500. Probably not. But again, that's not the point. My portfolio is meant to have less risk than that, and so S&P 500 is kind of big risk, big reward. But it depends on how long you're holding it. If you're zooming out, the risk is actually very small in the S&P. It just depends on when you need the money, But my portfolio is meant to kind of hedge that. So I'm trying to buy pullback stocks as opposed to stocks that are up big and breaking highs and stuff like that, because I think those are the most probable to correct. And I'm not trying to get stuck in a correction. And so my portfolio is kind of a mix of a little bit more risk averse of the S&P. The S&P I know last year did like 24%. I mean, I don't know. Just percentage-wise, I can tell you what I am up in my current positions, if you guys want. So look, I'll go ahead and break down what I'm up in a lot of my current positions. So in Apple right now, I got in at 168s, roughly. This is all like approximate. I got in 168s. Apple's at 208s. Was higher than that at one point, but I think I took some profit there. So we are up about 24% on Apple. Airbnb, we got in at 143s. It is now at 149s. We'll call it 150s just to make it, because it's at 149.60. So we'll call it 150. We're up about 5% on Airbnb. We bought that last week, though, so it's not bad. AMC, we're down. Alibaba, we're basically flat. Salesforce, we got in at 1690s. It's currently at... Or no, Chewy, we got in at 1690s. It's currently at 2550 or 20. Yeah, it's at 2550. So in Chewy, we're up about 50%, 51% on that position. Salesforce, we got in at 224s. It's at 220. It's at 245s. So I mean, we're up a lot. So we're up about 9.5% on CRM Salesforce. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to go through all of my list, but we're up a good percentage in a lot of these, The thing, though, is like this isn't like, so this account's got about 100K in it. I'm not trading with nearly that much buying power. I just don't need that much buying power. So. Amazon is safe and free money. Nothing is that unless we're talking about treasury bills. But Amazon's certainly not. Amazon's just up a lot, But I typically like Amazon. I think Amazon is a crazy successful company. But yeah, the margins are what I'm worried about for Amazon right now. They spend a lot of money to grow, so even though I think the company is wildly successful, I think sometimes their margins can be affected by their expansion. And so that'll negatively impact the stock price sometimes. Not always. That's not always the case. So it just depends on what point in time we're at with Amazon, if that makes sense. Yeah, GameStop saga, slowing down a little bit. Abercrombie and Fitch. Yeah, again, every time I go to the mall, nobody's ever there. Like from what I can tell, that this run up for Abercrombie and Fitch is a scam run up. To be like, for me, I'm never touching this company. When I look at the stores, nobody's ever there. Like, honestly, the clothes that are there, the only plausible thing I can think of here is if you've ever looked inside, they're incredibly, for lack of a better word, the clothes that they sell currently at Amazon are wild, for lack of a better word. These clothes are ridiculous looking. Like they're selling like mesh t-shirts for men. Like, just I can't imagine anybody's like, ooh, Abercrombie and Fitch right now. I mean, not anybody that I would know, and again, the amount of people that I see there reflects that. I don't ever see anybody in Abercrombie and Fitch. Nobody's ever there. It's empty most of the time. And so why is it up such a ridiculous percentage in the last year? It doesn't make any sense. And so there's a couple theories. One of them may be in places like beach towns in California and places like that, maybe Oregon. Maybe they've got a much bigger, more loyal customer base than here in Texas where I'm at. That's plausible. And so maybe that's where all their sales are coming in. But I would argue that what's the point of opening up a store then? The only thing I can think of is that Abercrombie & Fitch's stock price is up so much. And so the people opening up the stores are doing so based off of the stock price valuation, knowing that it's not going to get the sales that it wants to get here. There's nobody ever there. They have to be like the storefront, at least in my area, is absolutely losing money. There is absolutely no way the storefront itself is a net positive for this company, because every time I've walked, ever since I started paying attention to stock, every time I walk by Abercrombie and Fitch, I look in the store. I even went in there the other day. Again, they don't sell anything really that I'm about to wear. But there's nobody ever in there. I don't even see a freaking customer service rep there. I don't even see an employee there half the time when I go in there. There's literally nobody in there. And so for this stock to be up this much, this quickly, is weird to me. It's strange. It doesn't make sense. If you guys have any insight into that, let me know. But for me, I'm confused. Yeah, Bitcoin down to 60K here. Big dip for Bitcoin. Low float stock. Yeah, I just don't understand. Again, I mean, I guess I do understand. Like, okay, if you got a company that's up purely on hype, purely on momentum in stocks, but your actual company does not make money. You kind of have to open up storefronts just to kind of pander to shareholders. Like, hey, look, we're opening up stores. Look how great we are. Even though nobody's ever going there, they're definitely losing money. That's the only thing that makes sense in my head for Abercrombie & Fitch. It's really the only thing. And again, I grew up in the early 2000s. So I grew up when everybody went to Abercrombie & Fitch. When everybody was there, they were like preppy clothes. I certainly wore them at one point in my life. Okay, don't judge me. I had some of their cologne too. Their cologne actually smelled good. But yeah, that time has gone. I am no longer a cool person anymore. And Abercrombie & Fitch is certainly not the cool brand anymore as well, as much as they're trying to pivot now. But yeah. Bitcoin dying. I mean, every major pullback in Bitcoin, people say it's dead. They said it was dying when it ripped up to 20K and then pulled back to 10. They said it was dying when it ripped up to 30K and then pulled back to 20. They said it's dying when it ripped up to 60K, 70K, and then pulled back to 15. And now when it rips up to 75K and then pulls back to 60, they're saying the same thing. Again, I severely disagree. But who knows, man? Maybe y'all are right. I don't know. A lot of real bounce plays this year had little to do with fundamentals. Sure, but I mean, again, I've done this before. When you look at A&F and their actual revenue, you know, A&F has not had increased quarterly revenue this is a company whose overall revenue trend is decreasing over a 10-year period. So with all, like, here's the problem. Okay, imagine how much prices have changed. Prices have gone up. Inflation has spiked. Imagine how much that has happened over the last 10, 15 years. You know, and then with that in mind, look at Abercrombie & Fitch's revenue has stayed stagnant. It hasn't gone up at all, which means they're losing money now versus back then. They have to be losing money, right? I would assume they are. They're opening up stores that nobody ever shops at. Let me look. Let me look at their EPS graph. All right, so here's their EPS. I mean, somehow they're actually making money, though, over the last quarter. Over the last year, even. Again, it's got to be due to online sales. I think somebody said that. You know, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be, I guess. I'll be right back. Still on the screen. My bad. There you go. Krispy Kreme stock. I mean, I don't. I love a Krispy Kreme donut, but it's not the most reliable stock. Right, if online's good, why open physical stores? Nobody shops at their physical stores. I'm trying to look this up. But nobody's ever there. It's weird. Like, part of me really wants to short Abercrombie, to be completely honest. Are put options available here? All right, so I can buy out a February of 2025 put option. How much does this cost? Yeah, man, it's only about. So here's an Abercrombie & Fitch put option bundle. But how much does it cost? Let's see if they'll let me put it up. A $5 meal. You know inflation's bad. It used to be the dollar menu. Now it's the $5 menu. Has inflation really gone up like 400%? Honestly, I haven't eaten at McDonald's in literally over a year. It's been since I've eaten at McDonald's. It's been a while. Somebody's talking about oil prices as well. Crude price is bouncing. I should have bought it yesterday or Friday. I was thinking about it. But oil's already up. Oil's had a run. So oil was at $72 back in June 5th. It's now at $81. So it's up a big percentage in the last like month. Yeah, I don't eat McDonald's anymore. I remember. Yeah, again, I'm not really buying any of those companies. Yeah, I don't eat. Again, it's been a while since I've eaten it. GameStop down at 23.10s. 23.10s. The Q at 479s. We're looking at that. NVIDIA still in this little uptrend, although NVIDIA's down on the day. NVIDIA dipped all the way down here to 122s at one point. Yeah. All right, chat. Most traders lose money and they pay me, so I'm biased. I mean, wouldn't you rather somebody tell you that? You know? I know if I was like watching somebody online, I would rather watch somebody that was honest. Now, some people just want to be sold a dream and they're more susceptible to like, hey guys, be my millionaire student. They start looking at them like celebrities or whatever. I would rather follow somebody that's honest. What's up with Bitcoin? Bitcoin's down to 60,000. But again, it's just normal swings in my opinion. It's just normal fluctuations. Again, the story I always tell is like, Money Mitch at Benzinga tried to get me to buy Bitcoin at $3,500. You know, with $3,500, he was like, hey, we should buy some. I didn't at the time. It ended up, what happened at the time is it went up to 10K and then it fell all the way down to 3,500. And I was like, ooh. And I didn't end up buying it for whatever reason. And then it ripped up to like 20, 30K, 40K, 50K, 60K, 70K. And unfortunately, I missed a really nice entry there. And so, you start to trust it more when you see the fluctuations. And so again, 60K is nowhere near the end of the world scenario for Bitcoin. All right. Oil prices. According to TBOY podcast, Abercrombie & Fitch is doing so well because they have doubled down on wedding clothing. They opened up an online shop just for wedding and are doing really well. They found a new niche. I'm not mad at them for that. I think that's the way you succeed. I think you always have to grow the brand. Like I'll put it this way, right? So beginner trading started years ago. And there's a very famous saying, you always have to evolve your brand, and that's true. You absolutely always have to evolve your brand. And so, when we started and specifically, like we used to cover penny stocks, right? We cover penny stocks, like low float penny stocks. Eventually I realized that, hey, this does not have the edge that I wanted to have, right? So I moved on to something else. Eventually we covered AMC and GameStop, and the channel got really big. We were getting thousands of people there watching AMC, GameStop, and a lot of other people as well. If you were around at the time of that, a lot of other YouTubers were around covering AMC, covering GameStop, and all that stuff, right? And they got really, really big at that point in time. Well, what happened is that eventually these things phase out. I'm looking at some of these channels, and they haven't posted in years. And so eventually AMC GameStop dies down and you have to evolve. And so what I started doing was being more true to how I was. I started covering economics. I started covering CPI, FOMC meetings, PCE data. Before it was cool too. Like, we were covering it before everybody else was. And everybody else kind of saw me get views and saw maybe me and a couple other people get views. And so they started covering that stuff as well now. But a lot of people just never evolved past AMC and GameStop. They'd only cover AMC and GameStop. And they might be getting views now because AMC's finally squeezing again or whatever it was. But staying stagnant with that, you see a lot of channels that covered that stuff, they just died afterwards. They just stopped posting because eventually AMC and GameStop slowed and you know, for years. So it took a break for years, and there's nothing to really cover in between there if you're not evolving. And so you always got to evolve the channel. You know, you always got to evolve your niche. And I think that's smart with Abercrombie and Fitch. But the problem is, like, okay, I think when you look at Abercrombie objectively, their clothing brands outside of the wedding niche, I guess, are essentially dead. There's no interest in Abercrombie and Fitch clothes. And I get it, you know, it takes time. But there's no interest. Nobody wants to wear Abercrombie and Fitch clothes anymore. And so why, like, it's really expensive for retail storefronts right now. It's not cheap. Why keep the stores open at all is the question. Like, why even have storefronts in that regard now? It just doesn't make sense, I think. Did anyone suggest the moves to economic news? Not really. So what happened was that I started looking at the economic news myself. Right, so nobody really suggested it, but I would look at the economic news, I would cover it, I would watch it move markets, and I did that for a while before I really like dedicated the channel to it. And so I would look at it, I would watch the market move, before I ever really dedicated the channel to it. And then eventually, people would start showing up because they knew I would cover that stuff. And so eventually, then I started changing my titles to like, CPI data, FOMC data. You know, PCE data, Jerome Powell press conferences, and then that's where we started to really get views. And so then I was like, okay, you know, I'll just start covering that because that's more true to myself anyway. I day trade. You guys know I day trade, but in terms of, I'm more of a long-term investor, swing trader, and economist, I would say, more than anything else. And I think that's what I'm good at too. I think I'm better at predicting economic decisions, reactions, you know, data than I am at anything else. I was trading the same day Robinhood took the buy button away as well, for sure. I was trading there. It was a chaotic day. It started off really strong for GameStop. It went up crazy amounts. They took the buy button away, and I watched GameStop basically come back down. I was streaming live as it was happening, and people were upset. They were mad. It kind of negatively impacted Robinhood for years. Robinhood finally looks better now. You know, if we look at Robinhood, it looks much better now. I think traders are finally starting to get behind them again, but it took a while for them to regain. And I would argue that they still haven't fully regained the public's confidence after that. Because remember, it wasn't just Robinhood, it was a bunch of companies that did this. So what is cash, Jason? Jason says Bitcoin is blank and blank. I'm not going to say what it is. Yeah, again, like, people make these arguments, like, you got to be, I'm trying to think of the best way to put it. You can't be super, okay, you're going to have, for lack of a better word, propaganda that comes out on both sides of things, right? Who doesn't like crypto? The big banks don't like crypto. The big banks don't like crypto because it essentially replaces them. It also helps people keep up with inflation, right? It's much better than if we had a centralized cryptocurrency, you know, but a lot of people are arguing big bank talking points like, oh, crypto's bad. Crypto's bad. It's like, dude, what is cash then? Tell me what cash does. You know, wouldn't you rather a free version of it? You know, it's ironic because you hear people say freedom, guys, freedom. America, you know. But then when it comes to like a completely decentralized version of it that the governments can't really stop, then it's like, oh, it's bad, right? We should use the bank's version of it. Oh, okay. You know, it's just ironic. I think it's silly. But hey, listen, you know, it's all love here, guys. It's all love. But Bitcoin, the beautiful part about Bitcoin, people argue about Bitcoin's use case. The use case of Bitcoin is that you can send it anywhere in the world without red tape involved, right? You can send it, doesn't matter whether whomever it is wants you to send it or not. You can send it, receive it very, very easily, regardless of who uses it. And I think that's one of the powerful things about it. That's why it grows. For the same reason PayPal is valuable, Bitcoin's valuable, you know. But the other part about Bitcoin is it's one of the best long-term performing assets in the world. It's outperformed gold. It's outperformed silver. It's outperformed every major inflation hedging investment you could think of. And so I think a lot of people just missed it, similar to NVDA. Bitcoin is traceable. Oh, yeah, of course it is. Everything's traceable nowadays, right? But I guess my point is, like, if you send it through PayPal, it's traceable. If you send it anywhere, it's traceable. The difference is that there's ways where it's not. Can you send it overseas? Yes, you can, Barry. You really can. You know, now they might try to stop you, but you can. You can send it. They can receive it. The rest is up to them. But yes, you can. Again, it's kind of like, look, you're going to have a lot of, you know, the big banks see crypto as a threat, for sure. And the SEC wants to regulate it like securities. There's just a lot of enemies that crypto has, you know. So that's where you hear like these, like, you know, oh, drug dealers use it. It's like, yeah, well, what about cash? Drug dealers use cash too. Is that bad? Like, you know, you got people, you get a lot of contradictions. People say cash is disappearing, guys. We're going to have a cashless society. It's terrible. Oh, no. You know, you say, all right. And then on the other hand, they say, oh, cash is useless. It's worthless. Okay. And then they say Bitcoin is bad. You know, we shouldn't have Bitcoin. And then on the other hand, they say freedom, America. You know, just a lot of hypocritical people out there that contradict themselves. And again, it's all love, but I think it's funny. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I don't know if it's going to hit 100K this year. I think it could. Sharkey says, I've always had the idea of covering the market like a sportscaster, just calling out breakouts, pullbacks, and other technicals on hot stocks, probably using trade ideas. Yeah, that's really saturated, though, Sharkey. So, unfortunately, brother, a lot of people, that's kind of how we got started. So, my channel got started. We used to cover trade ideas. We had trade idea scanners. We would let people see it. You know, the problem with channels like that is that they didn't evolve. Like, so I've watched the streaming landscape of YouTube. It's I've been around it for a while. So a long time ago, people used to just live stream trade idea scanners. They would live stream trade idea scanners. They would look at breakouts, and you have channels that do that. The problem with a lot of them is that they were basically just streaming another company's software, and they never did anything else, you know. And so eventually, slowly but surely, less and less interest was there, and you know, eventually the channels that did that are no longer around. So it's a lot of saturation there, I guess. What's up, MS? Tempted to get into BITI. Hey, what's up, Seven? He's right, even the most popular channels didn't evolve. Yeah. It's kind of how it goes, man. You know, You gotta evolve. Yeah, covered economic data has been the most beautiful thing for this channel because we have regular, like, I know no matter what, right? FOMC meetings were getting 20,000 plus views, you know. CPI reports were getting 20,000 plus views. NVDA earnings were getting 50,000 plus views. We're getting 10,000 plus people here. I know no matter what, we've got a schedule and we're going to cover all of it. And so no matter what, like, we don't have to piggyback off of other niches, because we already got content that is more true to how I am as an investor, trader, and stuff. Like, I like the economics aspect of it. I like long-term investing and swing trading. I think that's the biggest edge you have in markets. But we also day trade, and we can still have fun and day trade the open and do all that stuff. So it's the best of both worlds, you know. Hey, thank you, AZ. I appreciate it, bro. Thank you, man. All right. Yeah, Jason, let's be a little bit less political, please. Way too political, bro. It's just a little bit too much. It's almost like everything you're saying is trying to be controversial. Yeah. Bank of America. Yeah, so Bank of America basically put an upgrade where they think NVIDIA is going to hit, $1,500 pretty soon. And so that'll be fun to watch. We'll see. We'll see if they get that done. Yeah, I'm looking at other big news stories. All right, so yeah, here's the news for BOA. So Bank of America. Yeah, so they reiterated a bullish stance, setting a 12-month target on $1,500 per share. GameStop at 23s. I'm a tech, and I listen to you live all morning while working. Hey, what's up, M? Thanks, man. Yeah, the problem with a lot of these bank stocks is that they're just up way too much for me to really be interested in buying them. You know, I like bank companies, but look, JP Morgan up a ton, Bank of America up a ton, Wells Fargo up a ton. They're all a little bit too extended for my taste here, so I'm just not super interested in buying them. You know, Apple looking really interesting. Tesla up a little bit overnight. Tesla at 183s. AMD's interesting too. AMD's been on a big, like, while NVIDIA has made such crazy runs, AMD has been pulling back a little bit. Do y'all think it might be time to buy the dip in AMD? I mean, what's their PE ratio currently? Yeah, so it's giving me AMD's PE ratio. So I've researched into this because you hear a lot of people saying, "Oh, AMD's PE ratio is $200 and $300, $400, $500, or $200, $300, $400, $500, not dollars, but high levels." You know, I calculated it myself, and it's not nearly this high. When I researched more in depth about why they were given these crazy high PE ratios, it had something to do with like gap principles or something like that, like some type of gap. Yeah, so I'm asking AI about this. Yeah, adjusted versus GAAP earnings is what happened. So. Yeah, so it says AMD's last 4 quarters were 10 cents, 15 cents, 20 cents, and 25 cents. Is that correct? Let me see. Yeah, but see, that's not the last 4 quarters. Like, the last 4 quarters of AMD EPS are 61 cents, 77 cents. Yeah, but the last 4 quarters were 62, 77, 70, and 58. Yeah, so that would give... Yeah, that would give AMD a PE ratio of 60. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's weird. Reasons for discrepancy. Some sites may be using forward PE, adjusted earnings. Yeah, so again, basically most sites are wrong regarding AMD's PE ratio. It's just strange. Forward PE non-GAAP is 45. Yeah. It's just interesting. Like, when you look up AMD's PE ratio, it's kind of like a shock. It's like 300, 250. It just doesn't make any sense. And then when you actually you go back and you look at the actual last 4 quarters of EPS, and then you add them together. Like, the way you calculate a PE ratio is you take the last 4 quarters EPS and you add them all together, and you divide that number by the share price. So if you add all of those numbers up, it equals a yearly EPS of $2.67. Right, you take that yearly EPS and you do the current share price of AMD 161 divided by 267, and again, it gives you a PE ratio of about 60, not 250 or 300 or whatever crazy number they say it is. So it's just interesting why there's so much of a discrepancy there. All right, guys. So we do have some Fed speakers today. Let's do some, let me do a poll here. Does this week's PCE inflation data come in hot or cold? Hot, cold. I don't know. /see results. All right, so this drops Friday as core PCE data. Core PCE data comes out Friday. Vote on the poll. We appreciate it. Q and the SPY finally dipping down some here. AMD's PE ratio as of June 21st. I don't think so. I think it's different. Again, I'll calculate it myself. Let me do it myself here. All right, so AMD, again, let's take a look. So AMD, I think it's lower than that actually. I think it's 62 cents plus 77 cents plus. Let me make sure this is in forward. Yeah, that's not forward. Plus 70 cents plus 58 cents. You might be right. I don't know. It's 267 EPS, right? 267 divided by AMD's current share price. of 160. We'll call it 160. Divided by $2.68 gives us a PE ratio of about 59.7. So yeah, it's under 60. It's around 60. We'll round up to 60, which isn't good. It's not like that's a shining PE ratio or anything, but it's not bad. I mean, it's not okay. Bad is subjective. It's not. It's better than the 300 PE ratio they're given on a lot of these online sites for whatever reason. Now you might be looking at Ford PE, Rudd, which is possible, but yeah. All right, guys. Yeah, so I'm looking at some of these numbers here. Here's the SPY. We're going to get ready to start day trading here as well. Yeah, NVIDIA down a little bit today, down to 124s. I remember how high PE stocks fell hard in 2022. Wasn't that long ago. All they need is a reason. Yeah. The Fed speakers. So we got a couple speakers later on today. Polestar cars could be the nicest cars ever. I still think they're going to have a problem with their consumer base, to be honest. They might be the nicest cars ever. I think a lot of these up-and-coming EV brands have nice vehicles, right? But the problem is that nobody's like... If they don't have the customer base that wants to buy them, it doesn't matter. All right, so they say that the reason crypto is down is Neil Kashkari, president of the Minneapolis Fed, suggested that there might only be one rate cut this year. It's reduced expectations for multiple that had previously buoyed the market. There's been notable outflow from U.S.-listed Bitcoin exchange-traded funds. This de-risking behavior by investors has led to substantial withdrawals from these investment vehicles, exacerbating the selling pressure in crypto. Some investors are engaging in profit-taking following recent gains in the market. The dollar has been a little bit stronger. And then the market has seen long liquidations where traders are betting on a price increase or forced to sell. So all that stuff has led to crypto dropping today. Yeah, Yeah, so a lot of people saying the dollar index rise has been what's causing a lot of this. Although the Dixie's down, which usually means the market is up. Yeah, so again, the dollar index is down to 105.50. So, but it has gone up the last few days. It's weird though. Like, I'm trying to see other reasons. Look at Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is down a ton. Now it could be due to ETF flows, but look at Bitcoin dropping over the weekend. So here is Thursday, Friday. So here's the drop since Friday. Bitcoin has dropped from about 65K, which is right around where it's been for the last year. So it hasn't really moved much over the last year. It's been basically the same. And so, yeah, Bitcoin down. Deutsche Bank says S&P pullback is coming. Maybe some volatility in crypto stocks like Coinbase, MicroStrategy, and Mara Mining. Go and trade the stock today. Maybe. Yeah, I'm not sure. We'll watch it. Yeah, a lot of stuff is down. People saying AMC. AMC is pretty stagnant at 450s. I'm at AMC. I want it to go up, but it's pretty flat, I would argue. What about DraftKings? This is a stock I haven't heard about in a while, you know. It's still very green. There's so much green on the year. It's hard to find things that I like to scale into. Like there's so much green on the year. Like every major blue chip stock outside of penny stocks is pretty green, you know. All right, so Samsung is introducing. Whoa, dude! Has anybody ever seen? So Samsung is introducing an AI-powered robot called Bally. Bally? Tell me how you guys think about this. So this is getting introduced in CES. Right, so like, look at this. Tell me what you guys think about this. Listen to this. All right, so this is a Samsung AI they're introducing called Bally. It's a little robot, kind of like it's kind of like the Star Wars BB-8. Follows you around. Wakes you up.
Hi, Bali.
Bally. You know, follows you around. Look at this. What do you guys think about that? Do y'all think that'll take off? The question is, do people want a robot following them around? I don't know. I think it could be hit or miss. I personally don't want a robot follow me around. But what do you guys think? Inflation is going to be lower, I think. Any insight on the Dow? What's the Dow doing? What's the Dow symbol? It's /YM, right? Yeah. Dow is pretty green, you know, along with everything else. Dow is actually doing better, where the rest of the market's doing worse. Yeah, I would accidentally soccer kick that thing, you know. Yeah, it's interesting. Again, it's interesting. I don't know how far this tech is going to get, but again, I'm looking at a lot of the new stuff. There's also the Shift Robotics Moonwalkers coming out. Look at this thing. It's supposedly supposed to double your speed when you're walking. So it's a mix of skating and sliding. Like, look at it. Moonwalkers used an ergonomic hinge system with an 8-wheel drivetrain. So this is some of the newest tech that's coming out. Interesting for sure. I think that's cool. So Slightful Spacetop AR laptop. And I think these are what we're going to see more often. Like, you're going to start to see augmented reality computers where you're sitting there and you're working on your computer, you know, with your stuff on, you're speaking to it, you're using it to create. I think that's going to be more and more common, where we're going to see software grow, hardware slow. Although hardware is still going to be needed here, you know. So there's also this click case, although who needs this? Like it's like a keyboard that you attach to your phone. The question is, like, who needs this? Like, the only people I can think that really needs this, maybe my parents. But again, as those generations get older, you know, I think the typing is much smoother. Like the smartphone typing we have now is much smoother, you know, than a keyboard like that. So there's a silent mask as well. Check this out. So it borrows tech from newer jet engines to reduce sound by 25 decibels, so you can take private calls in public without being heard. I think that's a good idea. Where basically you can put it on, have private conversations. Interesting. So there's something called Cold Snap. It's an ice cream maker countertop. I'm not interested in that. Indoor smoker, remote physical interaction through technology. Cool for like a week. The hassle of charging alone. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, the moonwalk is cool, but the problem is that I think, like, okay, I think there's much better ways. Okay, so here's the problem, I think, with the moonwalk shoes that you saw. Cool idea. The problem is that that technology is acting like walking is a problem. And I disagree. I think the only people that are walking are doing so because it's good for you. It's good exercise. right? And so it's like, if you don't feel like walking, bro, there's electric scooters, there's electric shoes, I'm sure, where you could just ride around. There's electric hoverboards, like there's all kind of options. There's electric skateboards, there's electric bicycles, there's all kind of options of getting around easier with less work than walking, you know? So like, what's like, I think the question is going to be, do they have a large enough customer base of people who want a middle ground between walking and riding? And I don't know if it has I would love to try it out once, but that's my question, is like, is there a big enough customer base that's interested in it? Anyways, the SPY testing the previous closing price, still pretty flat here. That's my question, and I don't know. Again, I really don't know. Hey, bro, how did you go about learning crypto? You just got to research it, brother. NASDAQ dipping. Yeah, see the SPY dipping down. Here's the NQ. Yeah, NQ red. Hit 20K, though. So I think that was lifetime high. So, yeah, the NASDAQ broke 20K Friday. Or Thursday. NASDAQ broke 20K. Came all the way back down. I don't know if it's going to retest or not, but we're at 1990. So, NASDAQ's up. We're going to start day trading pretty soon here. Oh, I love Heelys, bro. Honestly, I had Heelys and I rode around in those shoes for a long time. Like those, I got really good at it too. Heelys are actually really fun. Where, and again, you can actually get places faster in Heelys. You know, you can basically skate around in Heelys, and it's a lot of fun. Yeah, GameStop's a little light in volume terms. Yeah, we have a crypto channel. It's called Beginner Crypto. YouTube.com/Beginner Crypto is the crypto channel. Yeah, NVIDIA is also one of the ones I'm watching there. There's Bitcoin. Bitcoin's down a lot. NVIDIA is another one we're watching here. You can see NVIDIA kind of doing the same thing as a lot of these other stocks. Yeah, Heelys are fun, man. I had some for a while. This was like 15 years ago, though. But I used to have some. They were cool. All right, guys. So, yeah, Heelys were fun. So yeah, Dow was pulling back a little bit, but the Dow was up a lot today. So the Dow is almost like short-term trends away from the long-term. Hold on, let me see. Or the NASDAQ or the Q or the SPY. Yeah, so the S&P has more diversification in it as opposed to the Dow, which obviously only has 30 stocks. But the Dow is up over the last couple of days. Here's the Nasdaq. Let's put a 10-day chart up. There's the Nasdaq. Here's the Dow. And yeah, we'll put a same chart. So the Dow has kind of done the opposite of the Nasdaq. So here, I'm gonna mute the music for a second. Here, I want to watch something. Man. Oh, man. Yeah, so sorry, I'm looking at this video, bro. Alright. Yeah, thanks, Ramen. Today had news. I mean, there's definitely news today. There's always news. Yeah, the big story of the day is Bitcoin dropping. Look at Bitcoin here. Bitcoin down to 60K, still falling here pretty short term. So Bitcoin down to 61,000, under 61K at one point. So Bitcoin is down a ton. Hey, thanks, Cave. I appreciate it, brother. Thank you, man. Yeah, report some news. Yeah, I mean, we're looking at news. Let me see if there's anything else. Yeah, so today we have Goolsby daily. Tomorrow we have Bowman. On Friday, we have PCE data. I'm looking at some other news. Aside from that, I mean, we don't really have much. BioNTech is moving a little bit. European Commission says there will be technical talks in Brussels this week. And then I know next week we got Powell speaking. Have they scheduled the semi-annual monetary policy report to Congress? Let me see. I wonder when the second one is going to be. Yeah, usually. Let me check. I know next month we have Powell speaking. There's Bitcoin bouncing. We're going to start a day trade here. That's what we're going to do. Let's day trade. All right, so we've been growing this account. So this account, we are currently up about $1,000. We've got another account where we're up thousands in it. But here's the NASDAQ. I don't know what I want to do here with this. Oh wait, there we go. So we are bouncing back up a little bit. I might short. All right, so we got one contract here. Let's day trade. See if we flush. All right, we got a quick little rejection here. Here's a resistance level, which is kind of what we shorted into. This is why we're okay with shorting here, because we do have this resistance level. Again, I don't know if it's going to hold. That's the resistance level I'm looking at, and that's exactly where we rejected so far. But I'm also not super confident because we kind of have a support level underneath us. We're kind of flat here. GameStop popped up a little bit too. Back up to test the 200 EMA VWAP level. See, we keep dipping. Small profit is what we're looking for here. 10, 20. There we go, 30. All right, so we just made 50 bucks really quick. I'll take that. So $50 gain. We'll see if we get some more continuations in this. There's NVDA. So NVDA is still flat on the day as well. GameStop and AMC are still pretty slow. Yeah, NVIDIA's down, but again, NVIDIA, here's a yearly chart for NVIDIA. So NVIDIA got up to 140s. It's just so strong on the year. It's tough to figure out if it's going to make another push towards highs, which are up here at 140s or what. You know, the NVIDIA earnings call, it's usually a little bit later in the season for earnings, but the next NVIDIA earnings call is going to be in August. Again, Tesla's the first earnings call of the season. Usually that's next month in July. That's about almost exactly a month from now in July. We are getting a little rise here. I'm going to short this again. So we got a $50 gain on the day. We're going to see if we can take a little bit of money here. We got a $50 cushion. There we go. 20, 25. We'll go ahead and scalp that. So we're up 70 on the day in 2 trades. Yeah, I hate political arguments. I really do. On both sides, man. I dislike the whole realm of politics. I don't think it matters that much either way. I think... and I also think there's a pendulum over time that swings back and forth. That's very clear to see. I'm not interested in it. You know. All right, so we're up a little bit day trading. We've ended up bouncing right back. Part of me wants to short again. Again, what we've been shorting into is this resistance level right here. But if we start to break over it, maybe we're going to have another pull. Yeah, we also have this level up here as well that you guys can see. So, yeah, there's the rip. So, again, we're going to pause our entries here. And wait. All right, so we did rip back up some more. I'm gonna short up here now too. We're hitting some more resistance here. We're essentially trying to play extension. Like, we bounced up a lot. Here we go, 20, 30. All right, we'll take that. So we're up about $100 on the day in 3 trades. No losses yet day trading. Not a bad little 5-minute period of trades here. Up about $100. We'll see if we can continue making some money on that front. And again, in equities, we're actually technically green on the day again now, mostly driven by NVIDIA. Or no, I'm sorry, mostly driven by Nike. We're up in Nike. It's probably time to take a little bit of profit in Nike as well, man. We were patient. We held Nike. Our average price was 95.60s. We've been in it for a minute now. I'm gonna go ahead and take some profit. We're finally green in it. We were red in this one for a long time, and so let's take some profit here. Kind of hard to get filled. positions on Nike are not filling. Here, do I have to take a little bit more of a hit there? We're gapping up some. Drag it down to here, maybe. Okay, so my Nike position is not filling. We're trying to sell. We got EXT set and everything. Weird. Just no liquidity for Nike. Can't even cover it. All right, so we are rising up even more here. Again, I'm going to short this now. I didn't get the best entry here, though, so I'm a little disappointed with this last entry. But, again, we're up a lot. Usually I'm looking for pullbacks, but, man, we can use some of the gains, maybe average into this a little bit more. Two contracts here in the NASDAQ. We're back pretty close to flat. I got to give it time. I'm not... All right, we're out of our first position here. Again, I don't want to take the risk of having too much size. So now we're actually green on all of it. So we ended up losing about $5 a share here. Again, playing with, it's up a lot. I usually like shorting into these, but bro, I can't get filled on my freaking Nike trade. I'm trying to cover a position. I guess I gotta wait until the opening bell, but man, yeah, I don't know if people actually think I'm going to fall for that CR, dude. Like, bro, I don't even pronounce anybody's name if it's a sketchy name. I usually abbreviate everything. If you think I'm going to fall for that, dude, then get out of here, bro. Yeah, I think I probably could have held this position and made money on it, but it's all good. Yeah, we would have made money on that pullback. The Dow, which is really interesting, is having a very strong green day here. All right, so we did get the dip. GameStop's so flat, and NVIDIA's pretty boring as well here. Does it matter if you select good till canceled or whatever? Yeah, it's usually I have to hit EXT for time and force. Like the TIF has to be EXT, so extended hours trading since it's pre-market, but it just won't fill me. I don't know if just Nike just doesn't have any liquidity right now, or maybe we're running into issues with Schwab or whatever it is, but it won't fill me. It's strange. NVIDIA has to come back down to earth first. They do have to refuel. Maybe. Yeah, I mean, corrections aren't always bad. Like, sometimes corrections can and are healthy, but it depends on which ones, right? Like, they're not all healthy. Anytime a stock moves up big, I generally would like it to pull back at least a little bit. But again, it all varies back and forth. With that said, though, guys, if you haven't already, check out one of my sponsors. I am day trading on Apex. You can see I'm up about $100 today. Apex is one of the best ways to learn day trading. They are a sponsor. I'm biased because they pay me money. So, of course, I'm biased in their favor. I do trade off stream. You're not going to see all my trades. Understand CFTC 4.41, hypothetical or simulated performance, have limitations, all that good stuff. But again, they're really, really useful because what they allow you to do is learn to day trade with less risk. Almost all day traders lose money. And so if you put up 10K yourself, I hate to break it to you, but you're probably going to lose $5,000 or $10,000 if you try to put up that money day trading. Everybody thinks they're going to be different, that they're going to be some type of prodigy savant that turns $1,000 into $100K in 3 weeks or whatever it is. That's almost certainly not happening. You know, again, I hate to break it to you. I know you might not like to hear it either because, again, everybody wants to believe that they're going to be different. Almost all day traders lose. It makes absolutely no sense to risk thousands of dollars in the beginning of your day trading journey. Instead, try a funded account program. What this company does is they give you a demo and they test your skill with a demo account first. If you pass the test, then they fund you, between 25K up to 300K with a 90% split. So this base one here, they give you a 25K demo. If you can make 1,500 on the demo without losing 1,500 first and following their rules, they fund you 25K with a 90% split if you can pass this. And again, it also comes with like real-time data. Real-time data is expensive. And so if you were just to pay for this data in a normal paper trading account, it's going to cost about the same. And you should always try on paper first anyway. But the best part is that if you use my link, this is like $40 a month right now if you use my link. So if you lose, you're out $40. If you pass it, you get 25K in funding with a 90% split. Again, they're also, for the time being, you can also get the 150K, 250, and $300,000 challenges for the same price. So right now, these are $40 each. And so if you pass these tests, you get 150K in funding with a 90% split. And this one, you got to make 9K without losing 5K, a reasonable ratio. And again, this is one of the most legit companies in the world. Once you're funded, it's a 90% split anyway, so it's similar to putting the money up yourself. And if you take a withdrawal, you can fund your own account afterwards. But again, this is one of the most legit in the world. They paid out over $200 million since 2021 in customer compensation since 2022. And so crazy amount of payouts here. One of the most legit companies in the world. And if you always want the max discount, chat, you can use my coupon code BT. We'll get you the max discount. You can also get resets for only $35 right now. So if you try it and fail, you can reset it for $35. And so it's cheap in that regard as well. You just got to use my coupon code BT. There's the link. Check it out. All right. We did get a decent pullback. Again, I should have stayed in the short. It would have made me money. We were shorting it way up here, unfortunately, and it came all the way back down. Yeah, I mean, most day traders lose, right? I always try to be honest. Most day traders lose. And so it's important for people to understand. Again, you're probably going to lose. All right, guys. So GameStop now all the way under $23 this year, so it has dipped all the way back down. Again, the Dow has been very strong today, which is interesting because the Dow is mostly the same thing as the S&P. It's a little bit smaller of an ETF in terms of the amount of stocks that are in it. But interesting. All right, guys. Good time to buy GameStop? Yeah, I mean, I'm in it. I'll probably just stay in it. Good coffee? Yeah, it's pretty good. All right, so I stood a state of my short, guys. Remember, I shorted it using this resistance level up here. Look at this big breakdown. I'm still waiting to take profit in Nike. I'll just leave my position up for a while here. Maybe I'll switch. Yeah, it really ain't. It's not allowing me to sell my Nike position. That sucks. I'm nicely green on today, though, mostly from Nike. Intel was actually green as well, so we're still in Intel also. So that one's doing better also. Yeah, this is a PA account. So yeah, I mean, this account we're up about 1,000. We also have another account where we could withdraw. I just haven't processed it yet. But yeah, we were in another account where we could withdraw. So again, I just haven't gotten out yet. So we're all testing the lows here. Again, I might short if we get another bounce, but it's a little bit too late. I wanted to short way up here. Again, I was right about it too. If things sell before earnings, just to be safe. I'm never gonna sell directly in like all of my position in Nike. That was never the plan. I was just gonna sell a piece of it. Anytime I take trades like this, I do the same thing every time. I take a position. If it goes in my direction, I take a piece off, protect the trade. That way, if it ends up coming back down, I'm still fine. Like, I'm still good. I don't have to worry about it. I've already taken profit in that way. It's kind of a break-even trade, even if it turns against me afterwards, right? And I think that's a really good lesson on trading because it's smarter to do it that way. It's the smartest way to take these type of trades. And so, anytime you're up big in anything, like you're gonna get pressured never to sell, especially like stocks that have these big communities. But that's usually the wrong advice. Most of the time, in my opinion, again, not advice, not an investment professional. I'm not liable if you lose. But most of the time, it's the right move to take some profit and protect the trade. You might be correct. It might dump afterwards, and then you're going to be grateful that you took profit. But if you don't sell all of it, like if you take, I usually take like 30%, 40% off. That way, I'm still holding it if it keeps running, and it's just it's a better trade. But if it doesn't keep running, I'm grateful I took that piece off because it protects the trade. It makes me more in profit, and I don't have to worry about it as much. I don't have to stress about it as much, if that makes sense. Yeah, I can't remember where I got in Nike. Nike's not bad, though. And again, it was pretty cheap. It was down to $90 a share. My average price is 95s, and so it's at 97, so we're up a little bit. So we're not going to take the whole position off for sure. We're just going to take some of it, if we can. Yeah, so I took a blood test, and like they did like the kitchen sink blood test. They gave me everything from they gave me all kind of testing because it's been weird, bro. Like every 3-4 weeks I felt sick, every 3 or 4 weeks. And so with clockwork, every 3 or 4 weeks I felt like sick. Some of them I've even spiked a fever to 100 plus, and everything was normal except my alkaline phosphatase. Let me see, what was it? Alkaline phosphatase levels were high. It's primary liver, bone, intestine, and kidney health. But again, my guess on what this is in jiu-jitsu, this arm has hurt pretty bad for like 7 months now, 6 months. It's hard for me I go to the gym. I can't curl anything right now. It's very difficult for me to curl anything. And it's been like that for months. My hip and groin area hurts as well. I was assuming it was from like guard retention and stuff like that in jiu-jitsu. But what high levels of alkaline phosphatase means is that it could be a small fracture. So I'm wondering if I have like a small fracture or tendon tear in my arm. Yeah. PCE Friday. Yeah, we do have inflation data Friday. It's a big day. PCE's Friday. Yeah, nice year. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't hurt. Like, I have a high pain tolerance. I really do. So I'm assuming maybe I have like a hairline fracture in this arm. Because anybody that's trained like jiu-jitsu, you get arm barred. Sometimes it's hard to tap fast enough. Right, like people jump on an arm bar, they're torquing that thing sometimes, man. And and I've been arm barring a good bit. I'm also very stubborn with arm bars because I can usually hold out like this, right? Like it's very hard. Like I have strong grips in this way, and so I can usually hold out like this, even with somebody that's really good. So they have to kind of forcefully break it a little bit, and then by the time they're doing, it's kind of like but yeah. Yeah, my wife has somebody that, so my son recently had a bullseye. And so he actually had to do like a whole extensive thing of antibiotics because he had a bullseye on his leg. So it can be nasty, man. hurt? Yes, definitely hurts. But it also feels kind of numb also. Hey, what's up, Snow? Yeah, I've seen a lot of tick bites, you know. All right, so we're bouncing up a little bit. I'll probably short this. We'll try shorting it, although I don't really trust it. We're gonna take a swing, and again, we might lose all our profit. We might make a bunch from this, but again, I've already scaled into this. There we go. We got 2 contracts. Like, I don't mind risking what we've made on the day to try to build up a large amount of cushion on the day already. So there we go. All right, so we took half of that off. We got 1 contract left. We're gonna let the rest of this ride. We're up about 170 bucks on the day. I want to give it time, but if it bounces up, we will cut it. There we go. Starting to flush down. We're up 160. All right, we cut it. We're up 140. I could have held it a little bit longer, but that's all good. Get checked for what? Yeah, well, they did. So in this blood test, they did like everything. They checked me for like hep. They checked me for autoimmune. I'm assuming some of those would. Yeah, let me see. I'm pretty sure they tested me for all this stuff, but I know they tested me for everything. HV, they tested me for hep, they tested me for everything, and it was all negative, so everything was negative. I mean, I didn't have to really worry about any of that stuff, but yeah. Might be getting muscle damage and not realize it. Yeah, it's hard to tell, man. Like, yeah. Again, I assume it's just from jiu-jitsu. Again, like arm bars, Kimuras. I'm kind of stubborn with them, and so I'm probably just, you know. Yeah, they're rough, dude. They're really bad right now. All right, so we're gonna short this again and do a very similar thing to the last time. So we're using the current profit that we have to try to swing a little bit larger in this account. So we'll see if we bounce up, and then we'll add to this position up here. Oof, worst case scenario there. Bummer. Again, the good thing about building up this profit is that we already had a cushion, so we're kind of flat on the day now. So that's better than nothing, I guess. All right, so we got out flat here. So we're completely flat. Somehow we were able to actually be green on this trade now from this massive dip that we just got. I'm gonna go ahead and lock that in. Whew, somehow we just salvaged that trade. We caught the pullback. The pullback was large enough for us to get into the green there. Yeah, the cushion methodology makes a lot of sense. I think what a lot of people get wrong is that they just kind of swing for the fences out the get-go, and I think that's the wrong move in day trading. I think building up a proper cushion on the day before you take massive risks severely helps the emotional aspect of trading. Like, build up a small cushion first. If you, like, build up a small cushion first. If you lose, you've already got a really nice cushion on the day. If you make money, you got a big gain on the day you can take advantage of, And so it just makes more sense to, play with house money, build up that cushion first, and then once you have that cushion, take larger swings if you want, or just, All right, so we did flush down on some exactly. Toss did some weird update over the weekend that broke the client. Requires that change. So weird. All right, setup, order defaults, change default TIF to extended. Where's order defaults? Oh, there it is. Yeah, default time enforced day. Yeah, let me see if that helps. Okay, that did help. Man, weird, dude. Alright, so I was able to take profit on Nike like I wanted to, but that's strange. So we're shorting. We got this big bounce up here, though. Yeah, thanks, Adam. Yeah, I'm not sure why they did that. That's strange. Canadian CPI tomorrow. Yeah. Yeah, I'm in this trade. Again, I can't add any more to it with the DCA rule, so I'm just trying to sit tight. Yeah, I can't really add any more to this. Oof. So yeah, now we're actually red on the day. I'm gonna have to start getting ready to cut it. Yeah, we're gonna have to get out. So again, I'm gonna put this count up for a little bit. We also have currently we have Quant Tower set up. We got a couple challenges here. Trying to see what. There you go. So yeah, we got a couple challenges here. Gonna make sure. Wait. Let me make sure something. Okay, so here's a performance account. So here's another funded account on Quant Tower. There we go. Maybe a bullish. Yeah, so I don't know what to do. I guess I want to short this, but I also think it's risky. We'll try it. One contract. Slightly green. I'm looking to ride this range down a little bit, I think. All right, so we're nicely green here. I like the up wicks selling pressure. But I don't want to give too much profit back to this either. Palantir? Where's Palantir at? I'm in it right now. I hope it goes up. Alright, so we're going to get ready to cut this too. Where's Palantir at? How bad of a day is it having? Let me see. I mean, I'm still very green on it. My average price is in the 19s for Palantir, so like it could be worse. We're back almost green on this one. So we're very green. We're up 50 bucks here. Just one little contract. We'll take the profit, lock it in, protect us. All right, so we did get a flush of breakdown here, and we're actually in a trade evade here. You can see we're up about 100 bucks. These are two different funded account programs, or we're up about 65 bucks. I mean, on this one, just to show you both of the trades we're in, both of the accounts we're in. Kind of riding the breakdown. Now we're up about 100, 105, 110. We'll go ahead and cut it there. So we're back up to 110 on this account too. But we're kind of, this is a funded account already. Like net, we are up about 900 and something dollars on this account. So trade back, trade evade. So this is the difference. Here's trade evade, which is a web-based platform on Apex. So if you want to use Apex, this is a web-based platform that we're using. All right. But yeah, here is Quant. This is Quant Tower right here, which is kind of more of like TOS. This is a software that you use. The right side's a software. The left side's Trade Evade. And so if you're on Apex and you want to buy, like, if you're on Apex, Rhythmic is where you use Quant Tower. So this one. So Rhythmic account is where you use this one, which is a software. If you want a web-based platform, which is the one I've been using on the left side, that's Trade Evade. So that's here. Right, and again, if you want to check out Apex, they're a sponsor of mine. They pay me money, but great way to learn day trading with less risk. Again, I wish I had this when I first got started. I lost thousands. Again, they give you a demo. They test your skill with the demo account first. You get real-time data, so it's very similar to what you would pay just for a regular paper account. But if you pass these challenges, they fund you the same amount. So the 25K one is $40 a month. If you make 1,500 without losing 1,500, which is a 1-to-1 ratio, very reasonable. Again, real-time data included. They fund you 25K with a 90% split. You can also get, for the same price as the base one for the time being, if you use my coupon code, you get the 150, 250, and $300,000 challenges. Same price, $40 a month. Great way to learn. Limited risk. $40 is what you're risking per month, basically. If you pass it, you get 150K, 250, 300K in funding. And again, Apex is one of the most legit in the world. The futures market is very similar to day trading stocks. The patterns are very similar, and you can day trade essentially the SPY, essentially the QQQ price action. And you can see Apex has paid out almost or over 200 million since 2022. And so, yeah, check them out. Again, if you want the max discount all the time, at all times, use my coupon code. Here's the link. If you don't need the money, I would not sell Palantir. Yeah, I'm not selling. I've been in it for a minute now. I'm just kind of letting it ride. It's kind of volatile, though. It goes back and forth. Palantir has been sideways since February, though. It hasn't gone anywhere. It's gone up and down, but it's been in a very sideways range since February, though, is the problem with it. You know, so, we'll see. But, yeah, we'll see. All right, so we bounced all the way back up after testing the lows. I'm going to short this again. So we built up another cushion now, right? So you can kind of see my methodology here where I build up a cushion. And then once I have that cushion, I take risks with it. You know, I don't really take a big risk until I built up a good cushion first. All right, so we're going to add to this here, fix our average, see if we flush down. Yeah, I want to give this more time to break down. I think it tested the bottom of the range and then bounced right back. And so sometimes we get a little rebound, but it usually comes right back down. So I want to give that time here. Now we're back to same. Let's see if we get a flush. Now we're back to red. There we go. All right, so we bounced right back. We got the flush. We'll go ahead and take that off there. So we're up about 250 on this account now. Yeah, Palantir is kind of iffy, man. Again, I'm not against it, but it's been sideways for so long. I just don't trust it, you know. We've been pretty accurate today. Like, if we look at my stats on this account, like we haven't really gone deep into the red at all. We're up over 1,000 in this account, and my stats today are they should be pretty solid. Let me see. So yeah, my stats today, we're running 63% accuracy, 63%. Let me put this up. Yeah, so here's my accuracy rate. Again, we're running about 63%. Could be better, I guess. Would like a little bit more, but that's all good. You know. We got a little, like, a range here, but now I don't trust it. I don't trust it to break down anymore. Maybe it does. Again, it's hard to tell. All right, Elbow Joe and Stu, and they're doing all right. Link to the Bank of America article. Yeah, I got you, man, here. Yeah, so this is, I mean, Apple aims to reduce workers on iPhone final assembly line by up to half over the next few years, according to the information production. Let me see if I can find the, all right, so Fed's Goolsbee is speaking right now. He said that Fed policy is restrictive, according to CNBC. Slowing inflation data would open the door to easing policy. Well, yeah, water is wet. But here, this is what he's saying right now. Like, look. Here's the problem, is that, like, these guys are saying things that are very clear. Like, of course, if inflation drops, the Fed is more likely to cut rates because there's less of a need to keep inflation data, or there's less of a need to keep rates high if inflation is more under control, right? The more under control inflation is, the less need to keep interest rates high, the more we can boost the economy. Because the consequence of a too strong economy is inflation spikes. So if inflation's under control, the Fed's more likely to ease its restrictiveness in monetary policy and interest rates, right? This is not, like, this is economy 101 here. It's nothing like crazy. I'm not sure why they're making that such a big thing, but I'll post it here. But yeah, I'll have to find that report. I don't know if I could find it right now. Let me see. But yeah, so Goolsbee speaking right now. He came on at CNBC at 8:30. We got Mary Daly speaking. Tomorrow we got CB Consumer Confidence, I think, at 10. Let me see. We got ECB members speaking. Daly speaking at 2. Tomorrow we have Bowman speaking at 7 a.m. Canadian CPI. Case Shiller and CB Consumer Confidence data. So we got some stuff tomorrow. Bowman speaking tomorrow as well. Wednesday, we don't really have anything. Thursday's very busy. Yeah, so look at the NASDAQ cracking lows here, guys. Low at the daybreak. Yeah, I mean, it's like, it's honestly, some of the stuff they say is ridiculous. It's like, of course, Nike. Of course, if the inflation data comes in better than expected, they can think about lowering interest rates and being less hawkish. Like, that's very obvious. Of course that happens. Like, that's any major that's economics 101. Like, hey, if inflation data is more under control, the Fed can consider being less restrictive. That's economics. It's just kind of silly that he has to go on online and say it. Alright, so we're flushing down here. Nike's consolidating. Next week's a busy week. We got S&P services. I'm going to be busy all day next week. So is the market closed July 4th? It's got to be, right? What about futures? Alright, so look at the NASDAQ come down here. We might start buying this up. Alright, so we got one contract here long. We're kind of catching a falling knife, which is very risky, but alright, so we just made about 40 bucks from it. We're up about 300 on the day. So yeah, the New York Stock Exchange is closed on July 4th. Is the stock market closed July 3rd? It shouldn't be. We got a lot of stuff going on. Hey, thanks, Freddie. We had a half day on the 3rd. Apart from Powell, who matters? 1 p.m. Eastern time. But we got the Fed minutes report. Bitcoin, yeah, Bitcoin's down a ton. Markets are down too. All right. So the futures market are going to be closed early too. I don't know whether I should cover. I'm not sure we should cover the Fed minutes report then, because it's going to be interesting. So if the market's closed at 2 p.m. Eastern time, so the stock market, the futures market are both going to be closed when the FOMC minutes report drops on July 3rd. So I'm wondering whether I should cover it at all on July 3rd. Because again, July 3rd, we got ADP non-farm employment, jobless claims, services, PMI, ISM services, factory orders, and Fed minutes report on July 3rd. We might cover it, but it's going to be a much faster release. You know. I know a lot of people are traveling right now for summer, and so it's all good. But yeah. I guess we got 15 minutes until the market opens. We're going to see what happens here. We're trading kind of small today. We'll get a couple day trades in. Again, we're already up about $300. Trying to catch a falling knife. We'll see if NVIDIA bounces back some also here. Wait, so real quick, so does ChatGPT can ChatGPT watch YouTube videos now? I know somebody said you can somebody said that you could share videos with ChatGPT and it'll summarize the videos, but I'm trying to see where they can do that, because they don't do it to links. So I can post a video link and they don't do it. So I'm asking it right now. Someone told me you could summarize YouTube videos. Is that true? I don't want recommendations. I just want to see if it can summarize. GameStop. Yeah, GameStop's at 23s. It's kind of boring right now. The liquidity's low. We'll see if it heats back up eventually, but so here's a tool that says it can do it. It's not ChatGPT, it's something else. Let me see if that works. There's a lot of AI tools that now do this for you. Again, the one I've been using in books is powerful. Like, the one I've been using in books is powerful. I'll show you the book thing. I've showed you guys a couple times how to do it with books. Yeah, I've showed you guys how to do it with books. I'm trying this other tool. AI tool that allows you to quickly get accurate summaries of any YouTube video. Yeah, so again, I'll show you the one I use for ChatGPT. This is one of my favorite ones. Like, again, the people don't understand AI. The amount of learning that you can do. The amount of learning that you can do from AI is powerful here. So again, here is ChatGPT, right? So I did this every time I go to the bookstore. I never buy books anymore. I didn't buy a book for myself. When I go to the bookstore, I don't buy any books. I take pictures of books like this, like watch. Here's an example. Here, hold on, chat. Alright, Bruce just peed in his crate. Look at the market bounce back. Anyways, let me give you a book here. So, what's the book? The book was, let me show you guys. Creative Acts for Curious People, right? List the chapters. Here's a hack that will make you read a book so fast. List the chapters of Creative Acts for Curious People. By. Alright, so we'll just do it this way. List the chapters. Look at the market fly back here, too. I'm gonna go ahead and short this. We'll see if we make money there. But yeah, list the chapters. So you can see ChatGPT. Alright, so we're flat. I'm not going to add to this one. All the way back down to flush. Now I might consider adding to it now that it tested this low. I don't want to risk the profit I've made on the day though. I think I'll just sit. Yep. Alright, so again, we're basically flat on this position. There we go. I'm trying to be patient here. We got two big up wicks following each other here. Green. There we go. Alright, so we're out. So we're up 315 on the day. Anyways, so you see it listed at each chapter here, which is mostly 3 major chapters. So, summarize the expert eyes section in about 500 words. Like, there's no reason to buy a book anymore, unfortunately. Summarize the expert eyes section in 500 words. Look at this. And these are things on, like, being more creative, like developing creativity. You know? Interesting. Watch, I can do the same thing. Like, look. List the chapters of loopholes of real estate by Garrett S. Same thing. We can digest content quick. I'm not really feeling the creative book. I don't really need creativity help. But again, this is where, look at NVIDIA dipping down some here. There's an error. Let's have it fix it. Engine is currently overloaded. Please try again later. Again, point is, this works. Yeah, so. The point is, this is a powerful thing. I've read probably 6 or 7 different books this way very quickly. Look, here, it finally went through. Look at NVIDIA dipping down, though. This is kind of dragging the rest of the market down some, too. But check it out. Legal and tax strategies. Real estate advantages. You know, again, I'm not buying a book anymore. I just don't need to. Yeah, again, I'm not really picking out this music. Honestly, I just went to lo-fi on Epidemic Sounds and just let the whole instrumentals playlist play. Like, that's all the music here. It's not like I'm hand-picking any of these songs. This is just the lo-fi section on Epidemic Sounds. All right, guys, we got 4 minutes to the open. We'll see if we can make some more money. We're already up $315 on the day. We got a nice, large cushion to swing into now. We'll see if that works. Ugh. Do you guys want to go long or short today? List it in chat. Long or short. Let me know. Both every day. Yeah. How low will NVIDIA go? I don't know, man. 120s is the equivalent of 1200 pre-split, so it's still up a lot. SQ, whatever makes money. Yeah, that's kind of how I try to do it too. Hands off so far today. Yeah, it's kind of a slower day. I mean, it's Monday, but it's summer. I think a lot of people are traveling and doing stuff. GameStop at 23.20. Consumer, yeah. Dixie. I think you finally scared off the gold spammers. No, I mean, look. So just to understand my channel, like my normal streams like this might get like 400, 500, 600 people here live. When there's absolutely no economic data coming out, which is today. There's no economic data. There's nothing like that. The spammers show up when we get big days where we get, you know, non-farm payrolls, FOMC meetings, Jerome Powell speeches, inflation data. Like, that's when the spammers show up, because that's when we get the most people here. Like, the FOMC meeting, we typically have 4, 5, 6,000 people watching live every one, right? We'll end up getting like 30 or 40K views for the FOMC meetings and stuff like that. And so that's when the spammers show up. My regular streams are just kind of me and a couple hundred people here, which is fine. I kind of like the slowdown. But yeah. Point is, we don't have much going on today. The last few weeks, every quarter, we get a 2-week slow period. That's what we're in right now. And what do I mean by the 2-week slow period? We get a week where we don't really have much going on. There's the opening bell, chat. Let's see what we get. But yeah, every quarter we get a slow period where there's no Fed members speaking, there's no Fed speeches, there's no real economic data, and that's what we got this week. Although this week we do have PCE, inflation, jobless claims, and GDP data Thursday and Friday. So we got some stuff later this week, but earnings season is done. It's not until another month from now. All right, NASDAQ falling down a little bit. Look at GameStop. GameStop spiked at the opening bell, chat. So GameStop spiked. Nike is falling. So it looks like it was a good move to take at least some profit off at the open. Still green on the day in equities. T-bill paid me some more too, so the price of treasury bills is going up. Probably with market fear and volatility, I would assume. Amazon dip. Yeah, I mean, I kind of want to buy this. Oh, I don't want to get back too many of my gains here. All right, so we just made another $40, so we are up $365 on the day. So we will take that. And again, we are day trading on Apex funded account programs. If you want to learn to day trade, Apex is the one. Again, they give you a demo. They test your skill with the demo account first. If you pass the test with the demo, they then fund you the same amount between $25K up to $300K. This is a $50,000 funded account where I'm up almost $400 on, and my risk when I was getting started was $40 a month as long as I can pass the first one. Again, if you fail, you're out $40 a month, which is what you pay for it. But if you pass it, you get between $25K up to $300K in funding with a 90% split. Just remember to use my coupon code. There's the link. Check it out. So TOS is working for me, although I had to play with the extended hour settings here. So my extended hour settings were a little off. Yeah, there's the NASDAQ start to rip. Yeah, honestly, it's a powerful hack, low. No, I'm not going to trade crypto today. Oh, crypto live stream? Probably not, no. I've got a bunch of stuff I got going on right now. All right, look at the market continue to fly up. AMC and GameStop both making another push here, though. Look at AMC and GameStop fly. What a huge rip up in markets. What a big squeeze here, chat. So we are in another funded account here. We are up big. Take that off. Get out there. So we just made a bunch on this funded account. Yeah, we just made 560s on this. So our drawdown is less than $20 here too. Check that out. That's nice. Tesla. Yeah. Tesla ripping up to almost 190s here. Again, when is Tesla's robo-taxi event? Yeah, I'm trying to look at. When is our semiconductor delivery event? I'm seeing something about that. All right, with a big correctional pullback here. GameStop still over 24s. August 8, okay. You can call it a hack, whatever you want, you know. Okay, so that's from 2022. I guess we don't have anything else coming up for Tesla. Meta. Yeah, we're up on the day some. Tesla's very green. Walgreens is green. Target is green. Yeah, we're up thousands on the year. I'm probably just going to close it down, guys, to be honest here. I know it's very quick after the opening bell. I know it's very quick after the opening bell, chat. But again, I'm probably just going to go ahead and cut it down. We got some stuff going on my end. And, yeah. Just going to go ahead and close it down. Again, the first half of this week's busy. We got some traveling that we're doing and a bunch of other stuff. And again, I mean, I can't really complain. So again, just to put this into perspective, guys, like, let me show you this. Okay, just to show you this. All right. So first funded account here. This is a $50,000 funded account on Apex. Right. A 50K funded account on Apex. Currently in this account, we are up. Hold on. I wish it gave me some more here. Let me see. Bear with me, Chad. Hold on. Yeah, so currently, this is our day today in this account. We are currently up net 265. Net liquidity on my account currently is, we're up about $300 on this funded account today. Again, net liquidity of about $1,146 in profit on my first account. All right, that's my first account. My second account today on Apex is another 50K funded account. We are up about $600 on this one. No losses. One good trade. No losses on the funded account. And yeah, again, if you want to day trade with me on Apex, here's the link. Great way to help support your boy here on this channel. Check them out. There's no PDT rule in futures. It's the best way to get around the PDT rule. Learn how to day trade with limited risk. Almost all day traders lose money. You're probably going to lose here as well, but there's no PDT rule here. And if you lose, you're out $40 here for the base one for the 150K, 250 and 50 and $300,000 challenges. If you get funded, you get tons of funding. If you lose, you're out $40 for a month, depending on how many times you reset. But again, much less risk than putting the money up yourself, but a very similar reward with a 90% split once you're funded. Of course, they're a sponsor. They pay me money. I'm biased. All right, understand CFTC hypothetical or simulated performance have limitations, all that good stuff. Here's the link. And yeah, y'all have a great day, chat. Be safe. Again, we'll be back tomorrow. Y'all be good.